Variable reassignment is a major part of computer programming. Once variables have been initialized, they can be changed during a program, hence the name variable. Constants, on the other hand, receive their first value and remain constant throughout the execution of the program and cannot be reassigned. Here is a simple example of reassignment. Public class variables, public static void main string bracket args. Int num1 is assigned 3, system.println num1. Num1 is assigned 4, system.println num1. At first, num1 contains the value 3, and then is reassigned the value 4. Reassignment is technically called destructive overwrite because it destroys the old value when a new value is put in its place. Reassignment often involves using the current value of a variable in a calculation for the new value. In this example, num1 first contains a 3, and then is reassigned the result of its current value 3 added to the literal value 4, resulting in a new value of 7. Int num1 gets 3, system.println num1. Num1 is assigned num1 plus 4, system.println num1. Output 3, and then 7. The right-to-left concept we discussed earlier applies here. A temporary memory location is used to do this. A copy of num1's contents is pasted into the temporary memory location. 4 is then added, and finally the current content value is replaced with the result from the temporary memory location. The same process works with subtraction and multiplication. Study these examples carefully. Int num1 gets 3, system.println num1. Num1 gets num1 minus 4, system.println num1. Num1 gets num1 times 4, system.println num1. First output is 3, second output is -1, last output is -4. There are shortcut forms for this special reassignment process. In the example below, you see 3 instances of this shortcut process. Int num1 gets 3, system.println num1. Num1 plus equals 4, system.println num1. Num1 minus equals 2, system.println num1. Num1 times equals 5, system.println num1. The statement num1 plus equals 4 means exactly the same as num1 is assigned num1 plus 4, just in a shorter form. Using this process of shortcuts simplifies and speeds up a bit the coding process for the programmer. Quite often in programming constructs such as loops, it is necessary to repeatedly add or subtract by 1. This is referred to as incrementing or decrementing. These unary operators are even shorter, extreme shortcuts for this process, and you saw an example of this in an earlier lesson. Int num1 gets 3, system.println num1. Num1 plus plus, it becomes 4. System.println num1. Num1 minus minus goes back to 3. System.println num1. Plus plus num1, same thing, goes up to 4. System.println num1. Minus minus num1, back to 3. System.println num1. Used as standalone expressions, there are no significant differences between num1 plus plus post-increment and plus plus num1 pre-increment, or num1 minus minus post-decrement and minus minus num1 pre-decrement. Later on, we will explore a subtle difference when they are used in a more complex expression, but for now, they accomplish the same thing, that is, increment by 1 or decrement by 1. Loops will be covered in more detail later on, but here is a simple example of how the increment statement num1 plus plus is used in a loop. Int num1 gets 3 while num1 less than 10, system.println num1, num1 plus plus. The loop value of num1 continues to increase from 3 all the way to 9.